everyone, taking advantage of this beautiful summer's day by getting outside. So we're going to begin again in bridge pose. So placing the feet hip distance apart, taking the hands either side of the hip, and closing your eyes for a moment. Just taking this time to become present. And just noticing the rising and falling of your chest as you breathe in and breathing out. Just becoming aware of every part of your body that's touching the mat. Becoming aware of any smells around you, any noises around you. I'm just going to begin by mobilizing the spine, by pressing into the feet and raising the hips up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly lower the back down towards the mat. And then once the tailbone touches the mat, raise the hips back up. Trying to create a straight line from the shoulders to the knees. Exhale, begin to slowly lower, bone by bone. And then once again, inhaling, drawing the hips up towards the ceiling as you press into the feet and the hands. And then exhale to slowly come back down towards the mat. And gently open your eyes. Take the head and the shoulders off the mat. So we're just going to begin by strengthening through the core. So you're going to touch your right hand to the right ankle, left hand to left ankle. So just doing this, switching from side to side. So we're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to the center, lower the head down. Inhaling, coming back into your bridge pose. Take the left foot up towards the ceiling, making sure you're flexing that foot. As you exhale, slowly lower the hips down. And then inhale, lifting the hips back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower them down. And inhale, lift up. Exhale. And inhale, let's go for 2 more. Exhale. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale to lower them down. Inhale to lift them up. Exhale to lower. And then lower your heel all the way down onto the mat. As you breathe in, slowly uncurl the back off the mat. So you rise up to a seated position. Extend the right knee out to the side, coming into Janu Sirsasana A. So just readjusting your sit bones if you need to here. Inhaling, fingertips come up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, fold from the hips. Take the chest towards the thigh. And just taking a couple of breaths here. And working on lengthening through the hamstring. And opening out through the hips. Release the hands, uncurl the spine. Place the hands down onto the mat, then place the sole of the right foot onto the mat. Coming into one leg, reverse plank. So taking a big breath in, press into the hands, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Creating a nice arch through the back. Keep the chin tucked in towards the chest. As you exhale, slowly begin to lower the hips back down. Place both feet to standing. Extend your fingertips forward, and we're going to lower the back down towards the mat for a count of 10. So exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now inhaling, lifting the hips back up towards the ceiling. Right foot extends up. Exhale, lower the hips down. Inhale, lift up, keeping this right leg extended up towards the ceiling. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift up. Exhale. And inhale. 2 more, exhale. Inhale. And again, exhale. And inhale. Exhale to lower the hips down. Lower the foot down. Slowly uncurl the back off the mat. Extend the knee over to the sides. Inhale, reach fingertips up. And then exhale, fold from the hips. Jana Shasana A. Take the nose towards the knee. And just feel that nice fold from the hips, keeping the length through the spine. And if you can't take a hold of your foot with your hand, just take it to the calf or the thigh. Just working on your limitations of your own flexibility. And release the hands, uncurl the spine. Place them down onto the mat. Place the left foot down onto the mat. Take one big inhale to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. One leg reverse plank. Take one more breath in. And then exhale to slowly lower the hips down. Place the right foot to standing. Extend the fingertips forward, lowering down for 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now inhaling, lifting shoulders and head off the mat again. We're going to touch the ankles again. So touching with the right foot, then the left. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to the center, lower the head down. Press into the feet, lift the hips back up towards the ceiling as we come into a bridge. Now you're going to press into the heels and lift the toes off the mat. So feeling more of a contraction through the quads and through the thighs. Keep lifting those hips up. Release the toes down and then slowly lower the back down towards the mat. Knees come in towards the chest, hands to the backs of the thighs, and just begin to roll through the spine, balancing on the sit bones every time you rise up. Just a couple more of these, getting the lymphatic system going. And inhaling, coming back onto the sit bones, place the feet down onto the mat. Take the hands behind. So making sure fingertips are facing to the front of the mat and making sure hands are shoulder width apart. We're going to come into reverse tabletop, so press into the hands. Take the knees directly above the ankles. Take the shoulders directly above the ribs. Make sure thighs are parallel with the mat. Chin tucked in towards the chest. Now begin to straighten the legs as you come onto the heels, keeping the sit bones lifted off the mat. Inhale, come back into that reverse tabletop, then walk the feet further forward, so coming in to a reverse plank. Continuing to engage through the thighs. Continuing to lift through the hips. Exhale to slowly lower the sit bones back down towards the mat. Inhale, reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold from the hips. And just feel that stretch through the sacrum. As you take a couple of breaths here. Using every inhale to create length through the spine. And then every exhale to sink further into that space. And as you breathe in, slowly release the hands and uncurl the spine. Cross the feet. Place the hands onto the mat. Step back into plank. And lower the chest all the way down onto the mat. So take the forearms on the mat. And you're going to bend the right knee. Coming into half frog. So take the right hand around the right foot. And just begin to bend the elbow. And feel that stretch through the quadriceps, so through the front of the right leg. Keep pressing into the forearm of the left hand to keep the chest lifted. Maybe just bending your elbows slightly further with every breath. And then just slowly release the foot. Place both forearms down onto the mat. Tuck the toes under, come into a forearm plank as you draw your gaze towards your belly button. Holding it here for a couple of breaths, engaging through the core, strengthening through your abdominals. Now press further into the forearms. Begin to take the sit bones towards the heels and walk the feet towards the arms, coming into dolphin. So really important here to make sure the forearms are parallel and you're pressing evenly into those forearms. Inhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, sink the heels down towards the mat. Press into the hands, straighten the arms, coming into downward facing dog. Lift the right foot up towards the ceiling. Knee comes in towards the nose. Step the foot through between the hands, lower the back knee down onto the mat. Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey, begin to straighten the right leg as you come onto the heel. Keeping your hips square with the front end of the mat and feel that lovely stretch through the hamstring. Just melting the torso towards the thigh. Begin to bend back down into that front knee, so the knee is directly above the ankle. Take the left hand slightly further away, press into that hand as you rise the right hand up towards the ceiling. Either staying here or begin to kick the heel towards the buttock and wrap your hand around the pinky toe edge of that foot, spinning the chest up towards the ceiling and opening through that chest. Maybe taking your heel a little bit closer towards the buttock. And then release the gaze down towards the mat. Slowly release the foot. Hands frame the front foot. Back knee comes off the mat. Press into the hands, rise the right foot all the way up towards the ceiling. And release it down onto the mat. Now take the shoulders above the wrists as you come into plank. And then exhale, draw sit bones back up towards the ceiling, coming into downward facing dog. And again, ripple through the spine, take the shoulders above the wrists. And then exhaling into downward facing dog. And again, inhaling, rippling through the spine, coming into plank. And then lower the chest all the way down onto the mat. Forearms placed on the mat. Preparing for half frog on the other side. So left sit bone comes towards the heel. Press firmly into the right arm and wrap your hand around the left foot. So creating a lift through the chest, as well as stretching through the quadricep, opening slightly through the front of the head. Slowly release the foot. Release both forearms onto the mat. Press into the forearms, tuck the toes under, inhaling into a forearm plank. Trying to create a straight line from the shoulders to the heels, engaging through the core. And one more breath in. And then as you exhale, take the sit bones up towards the ceiling, walk the feet forward, and sink the heels down towards the mat. And if you have the space, even walk the feet slightly closer towards the elbows. Really feeling that strength building into the upper body, strengthening through the core. Press into the hands, straighten the arms. Inhaling left foot up towards the ceiling. Knee in towards the chest. Place the foot through between the hands. Lower the back knee down onto the mat. Ardha Hanumanasana, straighten the front leg. Making sure the foot is flexed and you're coming onto the toe. The hips are square. And just releasing further towards the thigh. Now begin to bend the knee, placing the foot down onto the mat, taking the right hand a little bit wider. Left hand comes up towards the ceiling as we open through the chest. And then begin to bend the right knee if you can. Taking the hand to the pinky toe edge of the foot. Spinning the chest up towards the ceiling, opening through the heart. Keep drawing the right shoulder away from the right ear. And release the gaze down towards the mat. Release the foot. Release the hands, so hands frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee off the mat, press into the hands, left foot comes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release that foot down onto the mat. Ripple the shoulders directly above the wrist into plank. And then exhaling into your downward facing dog. And again, ripple through the spine, engaging through the core into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, sink the heels down towards the mat. One more time, inhale. and exhale. Now lift the gaze, bend the knees. Bring yourself through to the front of the mat, and once you reach the front of the mat, come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Drawing your navel in towards your spine, tilting the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Maybe straightening the legs a little bit more with every breath. And just a couple more breaths here. Lengthening through the hamstring. Now we're going to step the right foot back. So coming in to a runner's lunge. Press into the right hand, send the left hand up towards the ceiling, twisted runner's lunge. Exhale, release the hand to the inside of the foot. Drop the back foot down onto the mat at the 45-degree angle. Lift the right hand up towards the ceiling into a Theta Parsvakonasana. So opening through the hip here. Making sure you're pressing into the outer edge of the right foot, lifting up into the arch of the foot and engaging through the thigh. Taking one big inhale, you're going to straighten the front leg, coming into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So taking the gaze up towards the top hand if you can. Keeping the left shoulder drawn away from the ear. Feeling that stretch through the thighs. Now soften into the front knee, come into warrior two, and hands to shoulder height, palms facing down. Arms overhead, hands come to opposite elbows, and peel those elbows back. So making sure you're creating a 90-degree angle with that front knee and continuing to activate through the back leg. Exhale, elbow comes towards the thigh. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, elbow to thigh. Inhale to the center. So flowing with the breath, taking the exhale to come down. And the inhale to rise up. Exhale. And inhale. One more time, exhaling. And inhale. Now straighten the leg. Come into goddess pose, so feet turn to two, sink back down into the knees, tucking the tailbone down, making sure the knees are tracking in the same direction as your toes. Keep peeling those elbows back and begin to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take hands up towards the ceiling, palms come to the center. Sink down into the right knee, straighten the left leg, Skandasana, coming onto the left heel. Extend both fingertips out if you want. Open through the chest. Now walk the hands either side of that foot, squaring off your feet so toes are facing towards the back of the mat, but what's now the front of the mat. Come onto the outer edge of the right foot, the inside edge of the left foot. Take the right hand towards the back, coming into reverse Skandasana. Now take the hands back to either side of the feet as you swivel on the feet. Press into the hands, send the right foot up towards the ceiling. Coming into a one-legged plank, so shoulders above the wrist, keeping that leg lifted. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Press into the hands, send the foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Release it down onto the mat. Inhaling, left leg up. One-legged plank, shoulders above the wrist, keeping the leg lifted. Knee in towards the nose. Inhale, three-legged downward dog. Wild thing, so step the foot to the outer edge of the mat, swiveling on the ball of the right foot, hips lift up, arm comes overhead, opening through the chest. Release the left hand down onto the mat. Swivel on the ball of the back foot. Left foot comes up towards the ceiling, three-legged downward dog. Knee comes in towards the nose. Step the foot through between the hands. Coming into a split here. So you're going to lift the right foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Opening through the hip. And then begin to place the foot to the back of the mat and use your core to lift yourself all the way up to goddess pose, so facing to the other side now. This time you're going to take your hands together in front of the chest. And again, sink further down into the knees if you can. Maybe you want to lift both heels off the mat. Just testing your balance a little bit. And again, we're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs. Vinyasa 2 on the other side, so right toes facing forward. Back foot's angled in. Sink down into that knee. Lift the front heel off the mat again. And then exhale into Shanti Vinyasa, Peaceful Warrior. Still sinking down into that front knee. Still lifting the heel off the mat. Inhale, lift up into your Warrior 2. Release the heel down. Lengthen the fingertips forward, place them down onto the mat. Preparing for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, so lift the back foot off the mat. Flexing the foot. Stacking one hip on top of one another. Pressing into the standing leg. One more breath here. Release the hand down onto the mat, square your hips. So they're now facing towards the mat, standing split foot comes up towards the ceiling. And then take the knee to the outer edge of the ankle. Inhale, straighten the leg, foot up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bend into the right knee, left knee comes to the outer edge of the ankle. And again, inhaling, lift the foot. Exhale, draw the knee to the ankle. Inhale, lift the foot again. And then release it down to meet the right foot, coming into Uttanasana. Now step back into plank. Hold it here for a breath in. Exhale into Chaturanga Dandasana, so the top of the arms are parallel with the mat. One breath in. Exhale, release the chest all the way down. Locust pose, so we're going to take our hands back here. Palms spinning inwards, thumbs facing towards the mat. Take one big exhale. And then on your next inhale, you're going to press into the pubic bone and lift the chest, lift the feet off the mat. Creating a nice back bend here. Back body is contracted, front body is lengthened. And then exhale, lower the chest all the way down. So either repeating this one more time or coming into bow pose. So you're going to bend both knees if you're coming into bow pose and wrap your hands around the ankles, making sure your feet are flexed here to create that hook. Take one big exhale. And then as you inhale, press into the pubic bone, lift the chest, lift the legs off the mat. Creating that push-pull action. Feet pushed into the hands. Hands press into the feet. Internally rotating through the shoulders. And then exhale to slowly release down. Just taking the hands below the head. And just wiggle the feet from side to side. Sorry, wiggle the hips from side to side. Just releasing through the lower back. Take the hands below the shoulders. Press into the hands and knees. Make your way into child's pose. And tuck the toes under. Inhale to slowly come to sit on your heels. Coming into broken toe pose, so just opening through the feet here. Allowing your hands to rest in the thighs. Take one breath in. And then a breath out. And then as you breathe in, you're going to slowly stack the hips above the knees. And lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, take the right hand onto the right heel, take the left arm overhead, pushing the hips forward, coming into half camel. Inhale, reach both fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand onto the left foot, again pushing the hips forward, keeping the hips above the knees. Lengthen the right hand back. Inhale, reach fingertips up. Exhale, draw the sit bones down towards the heels and allow the tops of the feet to rest down, hands come in front of the chest. Extend the hands forward, back into your all fours, into your child's pose, and then inhaling into all fours. Tuck the toes under, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Lift the gaze, bend the knees, come through to the front of the mat. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Arms overhead, palms come together. Take the thumbs to heart center. Inhaling, rise, arms up. Exhale to fold. Now we're going to step back with the left foot. Twisted runner's lunge, press into the left hand, right hand that comes all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release the hand to the inside of the foot. Drop down onto the back foot. Utthita Parsvakonasana, keeping a 90-degree angle with the front knee. Left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Activating through your back foot. Keeping the front knee over the ankle. Now begin to straighten the front leg as you plug into your feet. Utthita Trikonasana. So you might need to take your right hand just slightly further up the leg to create that openness through the chest and avoiding your chest coming forward. Now begin to bend into the knee, coming in to your warrior two. Hands come overhead and then to opposite elbows. Draw your elbows back as you open through the chest, still sinking down into that front knee. Maybe just checking to make sure your heels are in line. Exhale, elbow comes to knee. Inhale, lift to the center. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to the center. Flowing with the breath, exhale. And inhale. Exhaling. And inhale. Two more, exhale. Inhale. Breathe out. And breathe in. Straighten the leg, coming into goddess pose, feet 10 to 2, sink down into the knees. And pulse here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs, hands up towards the ceiling. Bring the thumbs to heart center as you bring the palms together. Sink down into the back knee. Right leg straightens, come onto the heel, opening through the hip. Reach the left hand out in front, right hand up towards the ceiling if you want. Open through the hip. And then take the hands either side of the left foot, swiveling on both feet. Reverse Kandasana outside of both feet. Left hand comes behind, drop the hips down towards the mat. Now swivel on the feet again. Press into the hands. Left foot comes up towards the ceiling, three-legged downward dog. Take the shoulders above the wrist, one-legged plank. Knee comes in towards the nose. Shoot that foot back up towards the ceiling, three-legged downward dog. And then place the foot down onto the mat. Right foot now extends up. One-legged plank, shoulders above the wrist. Knee comes in towards the nose. Lift the foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Wild thing, take the foot to the outer edge of the mat. Press into both feet, press into the left hand, right hand comes all the way up, opening through the chest. Release the hand down. Swivel on the ball of the back foot. Extend the right foot up. One-legged plank. Knee to nose. Step the foot through between the hands. Coming into your runner's lunge. Now send all of the way into the right foot. Float the left foot all the way up towards the ceiling, standing split. Release the foot to the back of the mat. And lift all the way up into goddess pose. Taking hands together in front of the chest. Lift the heels off the mat if you want to take this further. Maybe sinking a little bit further down. And again, pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs. And then bring the arms to shoulder height for your Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Lift the front heel off the mat. Exhale into peaceful warrior, right hand slides down the leg. Left hand comes up towards the ceiling. Stretch through the side body. Inhale back to the center. Release the heel down. Lengthen the left hand forward, place a hand down onto the mat. And begin to take the foot off the mat. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Back leg is nice and strong, foot is flexed. Thigh is engaged. Maybe taking the hand up towards the ceiling if you can. Release it down onto the mat. Extend the right foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Now bend the left knee, right knee comes to the outside of the left ankle. Inhale, foot comes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knee to ankle. Inhale, foot comes up. Exhale. And inhale. Release the right foot to meet the left. Exhale into forward fold. And then sit back into plank. So coming in to side plank, Vasisthasana. So coming onto the outer edge of the right foot, inner edge of the left foot, press into the right hand. Take the left hand up towards the ceiling, keeping your hips nice and lifted. Then lower the right knee down onto the mat, modified Vasisthasana. Begin to kick your left heel in towards the buttock. Take your hand to the inside edge of the foot and open through the chest, peeling the left shoulder back, tucking the right shoulder in, stretching through the quadricep. Now release the left hand onto the mat, but keep the left leg extended behind. Swivel on the right knee. Tuck the toes under, lift the knee off the mat. Hold it here for a breath in. And then extend the foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Take the knee towards the nose. And then the knee comes towards the right elbow, towards the right wrist, and then towards the left wrist. Scoop it up to the left elbow. Gently place the shin down onto the mat and extend the right leg behind, making sure the leg stays in line with the hip. Now come on to the fingertips and balance through the hips, making sure they're level. And once you do find that place of balance, you might be able to take the right heel in towards the buttock and wrap the hand around the foot. Keep sinking your hips down towards the mat. And then you might even feel comfortable taking the left hand up towards the ceiling. Keeping that balance through the hips. Keeping the chest lifted. Release the hand down, release the foot down. Press into the hands. Scoop the knee towards the armpit. Foot comes up towards the ceiling. Knee comes in towards the nose. Place the foot through between the hands. Come onto the tips of your fingers, and you're going to begin to lift the right foot off the mat. So the right leg is parallel with the hip. Now come into Ardha Chandrasana again. So taking the left fingertips to about the corner of the mat. Peel the right hip open and extend the hand up towards the ceiling. Now either staying here, or you're going to bend the right knee, take hold of the foot, and draw that knee back. So feeling that openness through the chest, stretching through the quadricep, opening through the hip. And just taking a couple of breaths. And if you come into any wobbles, if you fall out of the posture, just try again. Maybe once you've found that openness, try taking hold of the inner edge of the foot, creating more openness through the chest, spinning the chest up towards the ceiling. Gaze down towards the mat, release the hand. Lengthen the right foot up towards the ceiling, standing split. Lower the foot down. Exhale into a forward fold. And then sit back into plank. From your flat plank, Vasisthasana on the other side, so left side Vasisthasana. Hand up towards the ceiling. Holding it here. Lifting your hips. Lower the knee down onto the mat. Keeping that right leg to the back of the mat. Now begin to take the heel towards the buttock. Taking hold of the inner edge of the foot. Open through the chest. Peel the knee back. Lower the hand down. Swivel on the right left knee, keeping the right leg extended back. Tuck the toes under. Lift the knee off the mat and draw the foot all the way up towards the ceiling. Shoulders come above the ribs. Take the knee in towards the nose. Take the knee towards the left elbow. And the left wrist. The right wrist. The right elbow. Place the shin gently down onto the mat and extend the leg back. Coming into pigeon, but we're going to stay on the fingertips here. Keeping the hips level. And just opening through the glute. Open through the hip. Now making sure you've found your balance. And if you have, you might want to take your left heel towards the left buttock. Maybe you might want to wrap the left hand around the foot and just hold it here, feeling that quadricep strengthen. Maybe taking the right hand up towards the ceiling. And again, finding that place of balance on your hip. Release the hands. And then release the foot. So place both hands down onto the mat. Press into the hands, scoop the right knee in towards the armpit. And then send it all the way up towards the ceiling. The knee comes in towards the nose. Step the foot through between the hands. Press into the feet. Press into the front foot, Lift the back leg off the mat. So making sure you're flexing that foot. Take the right hand to the corner of the mat. Begin to peel the hip open. So either staying here in Ardha Chandrasana or bending the knee and taking hold of the foot. And then opening through the chest, peeling the knee back. Ardha Chandrasana Chapasana. So again, spinning the shoulder and the chest up towards the ceiling. Keep tracking the knee back. Slowly release the foot, finding Ardha Chandrasana. Release the hand down onto the mat. Lift the left foot up towards the ceiling, standing split. And then slowly release the foot down onto the mat. Exhale into a forward fold. And then sit back into plank. Drop the knees down. Swing the feet round. And then begin to drop the hips down, take the feet out in front. Extend the hands forward, making sure the feet are hip distance apart. And then very, very slowly, lower down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So just finishing off with another back bend here. So coming into bridge. So again, feet are hip distance apart, toes facing forwards. Hands either side of the hips. Press into the feet, rise the hips up towards the ceiling. Maybe clasping the hands underneath the sacrum. Or maybe walking the hands to clasp around the ankles. Lifting the hips high. Opening through the chest. Pressing into the feet. Keeping thighs engaged. Thighs stay parallel. And release the hands, come onto the balls of the feet. And just very slowly release the back down onto the mat. So now either coming into another bridge pose or coming into Urdhva Dhanurasana feel. So either just coming into bridge in your own time, or if you're coming into feel, follow my instructions. So fingers up towards the ceiling. Bend the elbows. And then making sure the fingertips are facing towards the shoulders. Making sure the forearms are parallel. And then you're going to take one big exhale out through the mouth. On your next big inhale, press into the feet and the hands and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. So again, making sure the thighs stay parallel. Making sure knees track forwards. Engage through the hamstrings, engage through the quadriceps. Contract through the back body. Lengthen through the front body. Trying to hold it here for another 3 breaths. So inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly, slowly, slower. Lower your head down. And then lower your back down. Knee comes in towards the chest. Clasp the hands around the shins. And just rock from side to side. Easing off through your lower back. And then just release the feet down. Cactus the arms. Close your eyes. Draw the knees over to the right side. Enjoy your gaze to the left. I'm just taking a couple breaths here. Just allowing your spine to reset with a gentle twist. Knees come to the center. Head comes to the center. Knees come over to the left. And gaze comes to the right. Just allowing your knees to get heavy. Easing off through the lower back. Now come back to the center. Knees come in towards the chest one more time. And roll over onto your side. And then slowly bring yourself up to seated position on the mat, keeping your eyes closed. Sit nice and tall. Feeling that heat in the body. Feeling the energy radiating throughout. Lift arms overhead, bring palms together. Take the thumbs to the crown of the head, between the eyebrows to the third eye, and then to the heart center. And gently bow your head. Om Shanti. And thank you for flowing again with me. That one was quite tricky, so if you didn't get quite a lot of the postures, just come revisit the class and try again. And just notice your progress throughout, notice your body opening more, and I bet you'll feel amazing for it. And I will see you next time. Bye.